We have blue oceans, red oceans, differentiated strategies, focused strategies, market penetration, product development, market development, and diversification. We have geographic expansion and choices between exporting, licensing, franchising, joint ventures, alliances, and greenfields. We've prepared balanced scorecards, looked at markets, channels, products, and capabilities. Then we swotted and closed the gaps. And after all of this work, we actually haven't changed a thing. We have a lot of ideas, probably put together in a nice and colourful document. We may have conducted presentations that encouraged and terrified our employees and shareholders. We may have prepared cash flow forecasts and capital budgets that demonstrate whether it is feasible to pursue our dreams. So what happens next? We have to turn our strategic ideas into reality, and this is where things normally go very badly. It's easy to dream, but much more difficult to make the plans and daily decisions that lead to actual implementation. This is where rational strategy turns into a processual reality with tweaks and changes, modifications and adaptations, resistance and stress. It may also go beyond processual strategy and turn into a chaotic mess. We need to consider our vision, mission and values that point us in the direction we want to go. Then ensure our goals and strategic themes align with these. From here, we must create and deliver well-planned strategic projects that actually cause this to occur. There is no single strategic implementation project. There are going to be lots of small changes and projects that need to be put into action, carefully monitored and managed, and combined together. Think about the decision to pursue cost leadership, one of Porter's generic strategies. What projects and implementation are required here? Firstly, you'll need to get your efficiency levels up so that you have the lowest unit cost in the industry. So you need to identify your current levels of throughput or activity and find ways to get these higher. This may mean redesigning the product, the workflow, or retraining employees so they build things more effectively. Each of these is a project to be resourced, supervised and managed. Capital investment is probably required to get the most up-to-date equipment and technology available. Spending millions of dollars will require careful planning, analysis and review. You will also need to spend time certifying your suppliers to make sure they are delivering high-quality goods and with an appropriate price and not wasting your time with delays or quality problems. Support activities throughout the value chain will need to be reconfigured to reduce costs throughout the business and focus on streamlined operations. Projects to map workflows and processes will be needed, and then redesigning how work is done. Moving employees into appropriate roles, or removing them if they are no longer needed, will take considerable time, care and effort. Now, just when you're about to get started, creating a whole lot of project plans to get the strategy rolling, don't forget, everyone is already busy trying to get their work done. So how are you going to fit the additional work in? Not everyone's going to be excited by the new strategy. So how are you going to deal with resistance? How are you going to coordinate all of the different activities so that they don't all end up pulling in different directions? Whether you are pursuing a strategy focused on new product development, geographic expansion, or diversification, it will take detailed planning, lots of time, significant resources, and an effective team to properly implement. There are a range of tools and frameworks you should use to make sure you plan the implementation carefully, including the 7S model, project and program management, change management models, and reward systems. To recap, if an organisation doesn't pay careful attention to figuring out how to implement its strategy, it will just end up as a pretty document sitting on a shelf gathering dust. We need to be just as strategic when it comes to deciding how we implement our strategy as when we created and crafted our strategic plans in the first place.